Hi everyone, welcome back to Paulina's Global Flavors. I'm going to make something very simple tonight. A friend of mine and I were at an El Salvadoran restaurant and I tried pupusas for the first time. They are just stuffed masa flour with yummy goodness that included meats, cheese, and I even had one with beans in it. So tonight I'm just going to make something very simple with simple ingredients, and you can do it from your kitchen or wherever you're at. And so we're going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to look at the ingredients. Here are the ingredients. Tonight we're going to make beef brisket pupusas. My husband and I had beef brisket the other night and we just had tons of leftover, and so I am putting them into my pupusas tonight. In addition to the pupusas, I am making a cilantro, jalapeno creme fraiche, which will include lime juice. And for my pupusas, it's basically 3 cups of corn flour, masa flour, and this is the brand that I use. To mix the corn flour, we're simply going to add about 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 3/4 cups of water, and we're going to mix it really well with our hands. And we're going to form it into a ball and stuff it with the beef brisket, Mexican cheese, and of course queso, which is very traditional. So I have 3 cups of corn flour here. I have 2 3/4 cups of water, and you'll want to check the consistency of your flour when you mix it. If you need a little bit more water, that's perfectly fine, because you certainly don't want a dry pupusa when you go to fry it up. We'll go ahead and pour the water in here. Then we're going to add 2 teaspoons of salt. It's 1, 2. I might have shortchanged myself, so we'll do there. So that is about 2 teaspoons of salt. I love paprika. My husband went to Hungary, and so I'm gonna put about a 1/4 teaspoon of paprika in here. And that is about it. And you just mix it together. And I'm just squeezing it along. And you'll want to mix it to the consistency of Play-Doh. Ooh, I bet this would feel good on the fingers. I'm wearing gloves, and I really like how it feels in between my fingers when I go to squeeze through it. You can see, squeeze. And you can smell the corn coming through as well, the masa. So I'm gonna mix and I'm gonna knead, stir and knead. Stir and knead, and you're going to do that until thoroughly integrated. Okay, let's set this aside. Now I have the beef brisket, and this has been refrigerated, and so it's a little bit hard. You can just strip with your fingers. It's very easy to do because it was cooked, because my husband cooked it for, gosh, almost 18 hours. So of course it's going to fall apart. The yumminess. And if it's too stringy, see where it's stringy like this and it's hard to pull apart, you can just take a knife and just cut it. And you'll just finish out the rest. So this is about 1.5 cups of meat for my 3 cups of masa flour, corn flour. We're gonna put it all in this mixing bowl. 1.5 cups of meat, and they're kind of chunky, which I like chunky. I like chewing it, but you can shred it even more fine if you'd like. We're gonna put in our full cup of Mexican cheese right in there. And then I have about a 1/4 cup of that queso cheese, and I'm just gonna crumble it. And queso cheese crumbles really nicely, so you can add it into your ingredients, or you can put it as a finishing cheese topping, right? 'Cause it just crumbles over like feta. Oh my goodness, that looks good. And then you're just going to mix. I did not put any salt in here because for one, the cheeses plural, for one, the cheeses already have salt in it, and then the brisket, my husband seasoned it really nicely, so it's already savory and it's already delicious. No need to add more salt. All right, so mix it really well. Oh, there you go. Now what you can do ahead of time, if you're doing this the night before, is form them into little balls. So when you make your pupusas, form them into little balls and then put it in the refrigerator so they can congeal. So when you make the pupusas, all you have to do is bring it out and just put it on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and form them into balls and just leave them out for ease. And because there's cheese in here, it sticks really well already, and because there's it's at room temperature, the cheese melts somewhat a little bit and serves as like a binding agent. So these are probably about a tablespoon and a half of a size of meaty, cheesy ball goodness. I am making five so far, and I'm just gonna finish the rest in here. Okay, so we have 10 balls of goodness, and now I am going to make the pupusas. So what you'll want to do is shape them almost in a bowl, almost like this, right? And you can do this however way you want. That's easy for you. Of course, I don't have any special techniques. But this is what the shape looks like in a little bowl. Add your ball of goodness in here and just start to mold it in like that, right? And just continue to mold it and seal it. So you go from this to this. We're gonna set this aside and I'll show you how we just gently flatten it, right? So flatten it and shape it. Flatten it and shape it. You wanna make sure that any cracks are sealed because there's cheese in here. So if it's not sealed, and the heat will melt the cheese and you'll have ooey gooey goodness oozing out. Now if that's what you want, and if that's what excites you, then so be it. Okay, so there is one pupusa right there. Let's measure. Oh, that is about almost 3.5 inches right there. Perfect. Oh my gosh, that is just gonna be yummy. How much of this did we actually put? I would say that this is about 2 tablespoons of pupusa flour mixture. Form it into a bowl, like so. Add your nugget of yumminess, and then just mold it in, right? So carefully mold it in like this. I actually use my thumbs and I push down, and I use my index finger and just kind of slide it up like that. There we go. And once you have it sealed like this, almost like closing a dumpling, then you can round it out by doing this. Okay. I'm gonna finish the balls and then flatten it, and then we're gonna fry it up. I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Oh, these are so fun to make. You can use your little scooper or a spatula. Make sure you've got this flattened. There we go. And they're each about 3 inches wide, or 3.5 inches wide. Yep, about 3.5 inches wide. And if you have some meat protruding out like this one here, you can just borrow a little nugget from the edge, seal it up. That way your cheese, when it melts, it doesn't leak out. Oh, the pupusas are done. So let's take it over to my skillet. Now that the skillet is on high, I'm going to turn it down to medium high. Add my oil, just enough. I would say that's probably 2 tablespoons of oil right there. Use my mitts and just stir it around. Evenly coated. Carefully lower your pupusas in there. 1 pupusa, 2 pupusa. Oops, that one came out. 3. This actually is working out quite well. See how many I can fit in here. 4. Ooh, I think I can fit 5. 5. Oh, that's perfect. Because then we just have 5 more. So you're going to brown this, I would say 8 minutes on both sides. 5 to 8 minutes on both sides. It's been about 5, 6 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and flip. Ooh, that is beautiful. And we're going to flip. Yeah, so I would say 5 minutes on medium high. I've got my second batch of pupusa patties cooking, so I'm going to go ahead and prepare the cilantro jalapeno creme fraiche with the sour cream. This cut up is about 1/2 cup of cilantro. You don't need 1/2 cup if you're not a cilantro fan. You can omit it completely. You can add parsley, but I love cilantro, so this is about 1/2 cup. We're going to put it in there because that's why we're calling it cilantro jalapeno creme fraiche, right? So we're going to stick it in our chopper here. And then add a small jalapeno, or you can do a big one. These are from my garden. I like spice. I would use this, but this might be overwhelming for about a 3/4 cup of sour cream. So what you can do is you can remove the seed or the seeds if you're not into the spice. I don't have my gloves on this time, but there's not a whole lot of seeds in this one. So we're okay. Ooh, I can smell the pepperiness of all of this. So I'm just gonna stick this in here. Notice I'm using the tip of my knife because I don't want to touch the spicy oil and the jalapeno because it'll get in my skin and then I'll just be miserable. And then you're going to add about 3/4 cup of sour cream in here. So in here. Yep. That is about 3/4 cup. Salt is good. I'm going to do, that was about a 1/4 teaspoon to 1/2 teaspoon. Sour cream is really thick, and so you do need salt, unless you don't like it. And you can do lime zest if you'd like, but I'm going to skip lime zest on this one and just do lime juice. So this is about a tablespoon of lime juice. Oh, that smells good. Now I'm wishing I would have done zest. But we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of lime juice. You know what, why not? We're gonna do 3 tablespoons of lime juice for 3/4 cups, or 3/4 for 3/4 cup of sour cream. We're going to blend it on low first. I just turned off the heat and we have finished our second batch of pupusas. Crispy and yummy, right? Oh, put them here. So there are the pupusas. Beautiful. Can't wait to try these and show you what it's all about. I have decked out my pupusa platter with bacon wrapped jalapeno, garnished it with cilantro. I have the cilantro jalapeno creme fraiche. This is what it looks like. My pupusas are done and I am just going to crumble queso over it. Pupusas! So beef brisket pupusas with Mexican cheese and ooey gooey queso cheese inside. I also made stuffed jalapeno wrapped in bacon, stuffed with cream cheese. And then of course my cilantro jalapeno creme fraiche right there. Doesn't that look beautiful? Thank you for watching Paulina's Global Flavors. Thank you for liking. I hope you share this video. I hope you try it out and let me know. And I can't wait to cook up something special next time. Have a good night.